Ronaldo's future? Look, it's up in the air right now. Ali Moreno, firstly, do you expect him to be a Real Madrid player at the start of next season?
At this point, to be honest with you, I just want Cristiano Ronaldo to come out and say what he's going to do, because these threats are becoming a nuisance. They're becoming all too repetitive. They're happening right around the same time every year, and it's hard to take threats seriously if you don't actually follow through with them. So if you're unhappy, if you don't want to be around Florentino Perez anymore, if you don't want to be in Real Madrid for whatever the reasons are, then make the decision and go. These threats at this point, they're losing value because it's been a handful of times that it has happened, and we seem to be regurgitating the same conversation over and over again.
If he stays, this is what Real Madrid will continue to get. If he goes, this is where a new team will benefit and what he has done. So let's put a couple of caveats in here. He's got a €1 billion buyout clause, and he's 33 years old. So if you buy him, you're going to get shirt sales, but you're not going to get anything as far as a sell-on clause is concerned. Is this all down to the comments he made after the Champions League final, and do you think those comments were designed to do what they've done?
They have created a conversation that wasn't going to take place unless he said something. The conversation would have been about the fact that the team just won the Champions League, which really that's what it should have been all about, following yet another Champions League triumph. The timing was incorrect by Cristiano Ronaldo. I think it's something that maybe looking back he may regret, or maybe not. Maybe it's something that, look, the attention should be on me, and all of those people that think of Cristiano Ronaldo as a player who only thinks about him, all those people that hate Cristiano Ronaldo or like to hate Cristiano Ronaldo, this is blood in the water. And this is the sort of material that you use in order to continue to dislike Cristiano Ronaldo. What's undeniable is his ability, his productivity, his success. None of those things anybody's questioning. What I would question is that at some point, if you're going to make a decision, go ahead and make it. Put it out there. Say what you're going to say, but stop all of this. My friend said this. This is not about the money. It's not about unkept promises. It's not okay. So what is it about? How is it going to get resolved? And is it going to get resolved at Real Madrid?
Final question for you, and again, there isn't a right or a wrong answer right now because we don't know. Given the shape and the fitness that he has, which is phenomenal, how many years do you think he's got left at the top level?
It's tough to say because there's been times over the last couple of seasons that you would say, maybe he's slowing down and maybe he's not the same player that he was. What he has done very well is recognize that there are things that he's not able to do now that he was able to do 5 years ago, 3 years ago. And in recognizing that there's a difference as him as a player, he now puts himself in a situation where he highlights his scoring ability, his finishing ability. Rather than running at people on the sidelines, rather than beating people with pace, now I'm going to beat you by my movement inside the 18-yard box and getting on the end of things. He can continue to do that. He's gonna keep scoring goals. But in order to do that, he needs service. So it's got to be in a team that can provide that. Doesn't get much better than Real Madrid in order to provide that.
Exactly. Now, the reason I asked that is simply if you're leaving the club, if you're Ronaldo, a club buying that player, maybe offering a 3-year deal, they're not going to get the Ronaldo of now in 3 years' time. So that's something else that they've got to take into the equation. Ronaldo staying or going. Do you know what? If he kept his mouth shut, we wouldn't even had this conversation. Go Ronaldo off to the Premier League, yes or no?
I don't believe that he's going anywhere. I think this is another empty threat. Ronaldo, until I see him leaving, I'm going to say this is a miss.
If you're Jorginho, do you swap Napoli for Manchester City?
I think you do, and if you're Manchester City, Jorginho gives you flexibility, gives you another option to Fernandinho. Jorginho, gone.
This time last year, I was going to say I'll say I thought Lindelof would be a good signing for Manchester United.
I'm glad you clarified.
I did. Would Alderweireld be a better signing?
He would be a better signing than Lindelof. Hang on to that Lindelof one. That really worked out.
Hey, still got time. Patience,
yeah.
Patience. Kovacic, Manchester City, busy.
If Jorginho is going to Manchester City, that I think limits the space for Kovacic. He's going to hang out with Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid.
The Morata experiment hasn't really worked. Higuain, would that be better for Chelsea?
It really depends on who comes in as a coach. If Chelsea can convince Allegri to come to Chelsea, maybe he brings Higuain with him. Until then, I don't think so.
Okay, 3 misses, 2 hits so far in the transfer rate. We end with Shaqiri. Now, Liverpool fans on message boards are saying, great player, great skill, but Jurgen Klopp's whole ethos is about working hard and running. Shaqiri's, is he that type of player?
Well, you just essentially made the case, right? How could I possibly say this is a hit? No, Shaqiri's not going to Liverpool.
He's probably going, but not to Anfield. That's today's transfer rater with Alejandro Moreno.
I'm thinking about my future. I've not yet decided. The Champions League is a main objective for me, and that has been the case since I was a kid. So, Frank, if you were advising Antoine Griezmann at the moment, what would you say? Stay at Atletico Madrid or go to Barcelona?
I would say don't go to Barcelona, but don't stay to Atletico. I would say find another club, because the problem is Atletico, I think, is not big enough now for Griezmann if he wants to win the Champions League, because it seems to be hard for this club to win the Champions League. But Barcelona, you have to make sure that you have a chance to play. I'm not sure in the system that they play that Griezmann can fit. On top of it, with Coutinho, Suarez, Messi, and some others, where do you place him? But you have other teams, Manchester City, maybe Manchester United, maybe Paris Saint-Germain, but also Bayern Munich can do something in the Champions League. So that's a crucial time for him. He has to maybe put a double thought before signing. Of course, the money is important. Can you refuse Barcelona if you have an offer? I'm not sure as well. It's hard to... I'm not sure he's going to ask me. I'm not sure I'm the good guy to advise him.
Diogo Dalot is officially a Manchester United player. Shaka Hissop is joining me for a reaction to this one. And Shaka, at just 19 years old, the fullback is still pretty young in the world of football. He only made his debut for Porto back in February. So what do you make of this kind of a signing from Man United? And what does it tell us about what Jose Mourinho's trying to do at United?
He's planning for the future. And I think it's a good signing at, £18 million in today's market. That's not a whole lot of money for a player who's shown a lot of promise, though only for a short time in Porto, but can come in, play either side of defence in a position where Young and Valencia, as good as they've been and continue to be, as I say, I continue to be impressed with those who season in, season out, but they're getting older, and at some point you're going to have to start to look for replacements. Maybe Dalot kind of fills their shoes in time, and if not, I don't think Manchester United lose in the transfer market if he continues to develop, which I fully expect him to.
Well, like you said, this is, of course, Jose Mourinho trying to build a squad, but Manchester United's defence is an area that has been heavily criticised over the past year or so, despite the fact that Jose Mourinho is United's coach. So how do you see him being used in the upcoming season? Do you see him coming in a lot for Antonio Valencia, or how?
I'm not sure if he comes in an awful lot, other than to give either Valencia or Young a rest as need be. I think the issues with Manchester United defensively are the centre-back positions, where he hasn't had a steady pair. For me, the most talented of his defenders, Bailey, has suffered with injury, and as a result, they've had to chop, change, and rotate. Now, if he makes these signings or continues to show faith in these signings, he needs a bit more luck in terms of the injury department to have a settled back four. I don't see this as being the answer, certainly not the immediate answer to Manchester United's defensive woes.
All right, thanks so much to Shaka Hissop. Well, it seems like Manchester United still have a lot of work to do in the transfer window if they want to get that defence just right. We are back with some rumour rates. Shaka Hissop getting ready to tackle some of these and try and make sense of them. Shaka, let's start with this one, because we're just never tired of talking about it, and we thought it would go away when Zinedine Zidane stepped down at Real Madrid, but it clearly hasn't. So Gareth Bale to Man United, hit or miss?
Well, we've been talking about this for not just this summer, but the last 2 or 3 summers, in all honesty. I'm going to put this down as a miss. Not because I don't think Gareth Bale would be a great fit at Manchester United and Manchester United are desperate to get him. I think Bale would be looking at, he was linked with Bayern Munich earlier, a couple of months ago. I think that's the more likely of the 2 destinations. So as a result, I'm going to put that down as a miss.
That sound you hear is Manchester United fans crying everywhere, including myself. Anyways, moving on. Antoine Griezmann to Barcelona.
Yeah.
This one has also been floating around for a bit too. Shaka, what do you think? Good miss?
Yeah.
Good hit?
And Antoine Griezmann has done nothing to kind of quell the speculation. He's now said, I'll make an announcement before the World Cup starts. I'll be honest. I thought this was a done deal. And I thought if Griezmann is going to Barcelona, he would say by now. But he hasn't, which suggests to me that I think he's leaning on staying at Atletico Madrid. So I'm going to put that down as a miss.
What about this one now? Alisson to Chelsea. You wouldn't think that Chelsea have any serious goalkeeping situation or problems going on with Courtois, but there are lots of problems behind the scenes from top to bottom. So how do you think this would work out?
The issue is Courtois heavily linked with Real Madrid. So as a result, Chelsea start looking, and understandably, Alisson is on everybody's radars. Now, my understanding was Alisson to Liverpool was almost a done deal. I thought that we'd have heard something about that by now. We haven't, but still, I think I'm going to keep Liverpool in pole position. So as a result, again, keep that as a miss.
Thiago to Barcelona.
I don't see this. I don't see this happening. I think he's been outstanding at Bayern Munich. Yes, left Barcelona to go to Bayern. I just feel he stays there. Too important to Bayern Munich.
Oh my goodness, misses all around for sure. We're almost running out of space. Edinson Cavani to Atletico Madrid. Dare he leave PSG?
I'm going to put this down as a hit.
Just so he can't
because we run out of spaces for misses and we've still got one to come. But I think, Cavani has been very important to PSG. But you've got to feel for his frustration. I like Cavani a lot. Winning League, I don't think ticks a whole lot of boxes for PSG or players like Cavani now. You've got to go deeper in the Champions League, and maybe Cavani coming in to fill a role. Fernando Torres has now moved on. I know he hasn't figured a lot for Atletico Madrid, but maybe that makes sense to give Diego Costa a strike partner, to give another option, and to give Atletico Madrid even more punch up front. So I put that down as a hit.
And finally, Mo Salah, who honestly wouldn't want this. And we don't even have to wait till after the World Cup to try and get these rumors swirling. But Mo Salah to Barcelona, could that be a hit or a miss?
Again, I think Mo Salah going to Barcelona ticks all kinds of boxes. The challenges with most of these misses is that I just don't see it happening. I don't see Liverpool letting him go after a year, and certainly not after the season that he had. If it happens, it's going to be an extortionate amount of money. Even so, especially given the way Liverpool played hardball over Coutinho.
But eventually they had to.
Yeah, but that was in January. I don't see Mo Salah to Barcelona does not happen this summer. Maybe something happens and there's so much money on the table come January, but not this summer.
Stevie Nicol can't handle another one, so for his sake, let's hope Mo Salah stays. Thanks so much to Shaka Hislop. Continue tracking all of these.